Doing all right. Well, I was gonna wait for a few people to come in here before I started ranting, but I'll start ranting now. It just seems like every day that I turn on my phone and I look at how you doing, be safe. Doing good, Rory. Thanks for coming on in. Hit double tap that screen. It helps with the algorithm. Hope you're doing okay. Seems like everything is going crazy these days. Every time I turn on my phone and I look at my YouTube channel and I look at like other people's like situations and whatnot, and they're either homeless or they're about to be homeless, or you know, it's like you don't know what people are looking for anymore. It's like before you'd go and you'd go through your YouTube and you'd scroll through your whatever, you scroll through your feed. Hello, what's up, Lord? Double tap that screen. Help me out with my likes. And you'd scroll through your feed or whatever, and you'd find funny shit. People would do funny things or interesting things. You know what I mean? And be entertainment. Now it's like people are talking about how they're homeless or they're living in their car. The hearts help, but double tap that screen and the likes help a lot too. But anyway, so I've been noticing that, and people are like starting to like live in their cars and shit like that, and I'm like this close to being that way. And I don't know if people are like doing it to like just like because like they see other people are doing it and like they're getting donations and shit like that. Which if you are and you're one of those people, you're a liar and it sucks to be that way. It must suck to be you. Because I know people and known of people that are actually really in that situation, and I'm like this close. And it's really hard to be in that situation, especially when you're broke, because, there's nothing worse than being broke and living in your car, because once you get that to that point, you can't afford insurance, especially when you have a Dodge Charger. You can't afford gas, unless you have friends that need rides, and shit, it just gets really, really rough. And then it gets to the point where eventually your car gets towed, and shit like that. I something like, and I think yeah, it's true. And you can normally tell for the of those ones that are there, that are being, faithful and not lying. But um I've been applying a job after job after job. I kind of messed up and I followed my mom around a little bit, growing up, and she was a regional manager for a Motel 6, and I kind of, followed her around. I mean, I did jobs, and I had jobs here and there and stuff like that. And I went to college and whatnot, but now I'm in my older age, and it's like I I don't have like anything to fall back on or anything like that. And it's kind of scary, because one minute you're you're young, and then the next minute you're you're not, and there's really not a whole lot you can do about it. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty healthy. You know what I mean? I didn't screw up my body. I didn't freaking go out and become a lot lizard and hang out in truck stops and do all kinds of drugs and shit like that. And you know which is what happened. That's what has happened to a lot of people. And what's really scary is that a lot of younger people are like in this situation that I'm talking about right now. A lot of older people are too, but thank you, Lord. Hey, if you haven't liked and subscribed, like and subscribe. That really helps. And I'll check you out too. Um, um, you would think that there would be more like people like stuff on the news of people like scamming and robbing banks and stuff like that. But they're not. They're doing other things. People are just like actually roughing it. And and what's really scary too is when you hear about all the fraud and waste. I am kind of that in that boat. I am a younger. You're younger. Oh shit. Don't how long are you and are you in a bad position? The best part about being younger is that you have a better chance than older people do. But it sucks because I would stick with the AI and just stay with what's going and what's rocking with the world. You know what I mean? What's moving along fast with it and just stay with it and that's what so many people haven't done in the past. People like to stick with the old ways and it's and what they don't realize that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's like things change. 23 and yeah, I'm fighting a case too. Yeah. A lot of people are fighting cases like, SSI and SSDI. And, I don't want to get too much into it, but I know somebody who is, and they should be doing getting the SSDI fighting for that because they do have that much credit and work credits. But the system is messed up the way they work it out to be. They want to get whatever they can get out of you. And when it's time to give it back, they don't want to give it back. They'll come up with any and every excuse to um to not give you your money back. Any and every excuse. You know what I mean? So just stay tough there, kiddo. Lord Frizia. Nothing's for free. There's so many different ways. What are you laughing about? R7 Bold. What's so funny, Bold? BD. But you know what? The fucked up thing is that like there's so many people like they dream of becoming like millionaires or whatever. And the thing that makes me sick is that when people like become bazillionaires or like for instance that dickhead, what's his name? I like the art on your wall. Oh, thank you. There's a lot of it. Oh, all I gotta do is this. There's a cat on there. That one's a pretty cool one. Oh my god. Anyway, thank you. I used to do that when I'd have my bad anxiety. But like remember whenever 9/11 not 9/11 that other one um um COVID, all those people, thank you, 7BD. So many people like were hungry for money, man. They did all those BBB loans and whatever that shit was. People will do anything for money but work for it. And the ones that work for it bitch all the time. So, what does everybody do for a living? That was cool when there was a lot of people in here, but they didn't like what I was talking about, I guess. So they like got out. They're like, let's get out of this bitch. Roblox, whatever the hell that is. You must be a kid. Times are changing too quick. That was crazy. I was in school when that happened. When what happened? COVID or 9/11. I was sleeping for work when that happened, when 9/11 happened. Oh, Roblox, 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 Roblox. COVID and even have a graduation. Oh, right on. I was just watching this special right here. Not a special, but remember that dude, um, Chris Watts, the guy that killed. He annihilated his wife and his two children and his unborn son. Chris Watts in Colorado, and right now he's in Dodge Correction. Yeah, he, dude. I'll tell you real quick. He he was like in his early 30s, and so was she. And they met on Facebook, and she was the sweetest lady, dude. I don't want to do any like copyright shit, and it happened in 2018. And he met another woman that he was doing it with, and he wanted her. He met her at his work in an oil field, and he started screwing her, and he chose her. And August the 13th or something, she came home from a long event, and he was waiting for her. He ended up choking her out, and he killed the two kids too. And you know where he disposed of their bodies? He put her, that was the couple, that was him and her. He put her body in a shallow grave outside of his work, and he put the little girls, one was 3 and one was 4, in a big crude oil container, one in each. Pretty sick. Hey, R7BD, I'll give you my Cash App if you want. I'm hurting just like the rest of them. But that's what people do with their Facebook or their YouTubes. They put their little money symbol there. I'm not modified yet, so. But people like to put that anyway. They want their their money their way because YouTube takes like 20% of it. I know, and he says it all the time. He says it. He says he can't get that out of his head that his little girl was no, daddy, no, because one of the little girls saw what he did to his little sister, and oh my god, dude, that's so fucking. It sucks so bad. Because they don't just get a confession and then throw people in prison, you know. They they go back sometime later and they want to know why. No, I'm not a they want to know why people do these things to other people, you know? I don't really think you can get that much information off of a dead brain, you know? They say, well, let's do some research. The world is just getting crazier, and it's going to keep getting crazier. I mean, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I mean, like, I understand, like, back, like, hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of years ago, they did crazy shit to people, like hanging people. That's a pretty fucked up way to kill somebody, but it's so is shooting someone, you know? Especially in the back of the head, covering up their faces and putting them in the back of the head like some countries do. But, or like the movie Saw, even though it's a movie, or here's just a little more media out here now. No, media, you know, you can't lie. Cameras don't lie. You know, if someone says if someone says that they put their kid in a crude or oil thing, they did it. And if someone's making shit like that up, then then they need just as much help as if a person that would do that. You know what I mean? You don't make shit like that up. They did it. They emptied. There was a messy ass mess. He did it. Mickey Mouse Club households pinging so SOS SOS whatever that means. I know what that means, SOS SOS. But think about it. Um like it's one thing to kill a person, but to torture a person in their death, like, you know, there's lynching, there's like whenever a person murders someone and then they get the what is the SO what are you doing about all that SOS shit? So kids, get out of here, man. I'm talking adult shit here. I'm just saying that like people, you know, you can you don't get it. You're too young and stupid probably. Like when they get whenever judge and juries decide hello from Slovakia. What's Slovakia? What's up, Martin from Slovakia? Do you believe in the death penalty? And if you do, they should have like only one way to do it, not all these different ways. Like, how do you choose to die? Do you want to be? I mean, seriously, I did the easiest way. Put me to sleep. Yeah, I believe in it too. And but the most people would think an eye for an eye because I'm from originally from Texas, an eye for an eye. So if you shoot someone in the chest, you should get shot in the chest. What's up, XEN? Some of you people, your names are hi Martin. So what's up with the SOS so hit that like button. There's 10 of you here. Ooh, I got another 6 in here. Now there's 10 to 6. It's 10 against 6. Now I know you're akin with that big old SOS. The next time you do that, I want $1 for every SOS. So you want my Cash App? Let's get to 10 likes. Ooh, wouldn't that be something? My hair looks kind of funny. It's super long, but I got like one here and I got one here. Someone did that. So I got 5 people, 6 people just sitting here watching me talk. 6, 7, I know you're a kid now. 6, 7, 6, 7, I know, like 6, 7, 6, 7. Somebody said something about that. It means nothing. So why are you still in here? SOS. Are you an SOS? Have are you, darling? How are my darling? I'm doing good. How are you? Martina. Oh, Martina. That's a nice name, Martina. I'm Misty. That's good to hear. I'd be a lot better if I had gas in my car. Times are tough, and then they're even getting tougher in the 67. Get out of here, dude. I'm gonna get your ass out of here. How about that? See ya. There we go. There's only 2 people. What's up with everybody? I haven't been in here 30 minutes and I haven't really had that much conversation with anybody. I was just showing them my double things here. So we were talking about the Chris Watts case, and it's just like when you get to see these cases like this where they're so horrific, it just makes you wonder. He was a good-looking guy with a really good-looking wife, two beautiful girls, and one boy on the way. They were in debt, and he was seeing another woman, a mistress. Where I live, a cop helicopter just got shot down after following an active shooter. Oh no. Where do you live so I can watch it on the news here? And thank you for staying loyal, Lord. That's interesting. Phoenix, Arizona. You know what's funny is that I thought about that some time ago. I don't know what made me think of it. I said, "What? Wonder what they do if somebody had like the big machete guns and they started shooting at the helicopters whenever the cars can't get to them." But it happened in Flagstaff, Arizona. Okay, that's something else. You be careful out there. And did you subscribe? Maybe we could see each other again, Lord. You're really nice, and I appreciate you watching me. I don't really stay on that long. I get like I get restless because like a lot of people don't stay in and I just get like down on myself, which I shouldn't because people come through again and again and a lot of times they see you still in and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Let's see what she's talking about now." And then they start talking to me. I see people stay on for hours. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I've noticed the longer that I stay on, the longer that I talk, I get more subscribers, you know what I mean? Um but I think you need like 3 million views or something and I'm like I only have like 800,000. I mean, I've accomplished like two of the goals, but anyway. Phoenix, Arizona is starting to get warm out there now. Vegas is going to start getting warm here too, like before you know it, you know what I mean? I hate the heat. It gets just way too hot out here. I hate it whenever cases don't get whenever they just take whatever they got it and they just want to cut close and then go on to the next case and just get as many of those cases. What's still really good. I know, thank you. I'm going to keep trying. But like these cases, these murder cases, especially some of these sick ones, like nobody else could have done it and he did it, you know what I mean? And it's just sick. So while he's still alive, they want to try and figure out why. Yeah, I was born and raised in Southwest too. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas, so I'm used to the heat, but I don't like it. So it's one of those things. Didn't you say, Lord, you were like 24 or something like that? You just kind of just came across my channel. You're like, oh, let's check out this white ass girl here. But anyway, you see these things about these criminals that do these horrendous things, and he had everything. Of course, they had already filed bankruptcy, and he really thought that. But it was that girl. It was his best friend. It was her best friend that started calling. Hey, she didn't make it. I bet they do. She didn't make it to work. And he says, "Don't call the police. I'll be there." And he needed to clean up some other shit, and he didn't make it in time. And he was looking up the song "Battery" by Metallica, and then that bitch that he was screwing, there were so many lies in her discrepancies in her story. She was like, she deleted everything on the phone because, oh, right there, all in within a day or two. Oh, I found out this and that, and I was so disturbed by him, and he lied to me, and this and that, you know. And they know she knew more, and then they did her protective program or something, and changed her name and everything. But she's been seen. Somebody got a picture of her. You know that face. She just gained some weight and shit. She was involved, and he's protecting her. Anyway, 4-7. If 6 people came in here, it'd be 6-7. That's another thing I don't get is why they give people 379 years and then 2 lifetimes consecutively, and then another 8 years, and then another 18 years, and then another 367 years, and then another 924 years, and then another 2 sentences to be served consecutively, and then a year for jaywalking. And then a week later, they find out something that he was the person that killed so and so. So then they give him the death penalty. So that's crazy and sad. Why didn't he just get a divorce instead of killing him? That's what everybody says. Because the divorce would have meant money, lots of money, and but that bitch that he was seeing probably would have done anything for him anyway. But he wanted it all. He was stupid. He thought that and she did handled all the finances and everything, and he could have easily just said, well, she used a lot of the money. And but what screwed up, one of the things that screwed everything up, is that she found out a receipt on one of the cards that they used together because he fucked up at the Lazy Dog Lounge and Bar and Grill, and it was a $60 bill. That's what everybody says, dude, that divorce thing. Because then he would have to pay for divorce. He would have to pay child support for another baby boy, and he wanted it the easy way out. He wanted to have the just the new woman and him, and start a new life and probably new babies with her and shit. And he thought that he could get away with making everybody think that they got in a fight, and that she just split. And then he tried making him think that but he made great money, though. He didn't make that great of money. He didn't make that great of money. She was actually supposedly be the breadwinner in the case. She really was. She made a lot of money. She was a go getter. And he made good money. He did, but they filed for bankrupts like twice or something like that, or something like, I mean, they weren't in good shape. They weren't doing too good. So they were living beyond their means. And what's fucked up is that he didn't even have his own vehicle. So she was kind of a bitch. And then she had her white neck Lexus and shit. Really crazy. Yeah. He was he was going back and forth, and then she went back to her hometown and spent like 6 weeks there, and and during that 6 weeks he was spending a lot of time with that girl, Nicole Kessinger. It's just so sad, the innocent kids. I know what the worst part about it um is that one little one had to watch the one big one had to watch the little one get smothered first, and then she asked daddy, is is what happened to Cece gonna happen to Bella, to me? And he didn't. One of them did fight back. Bella, the 4-year-old one, you could tell she fought back as much as she could. I mean, and he said that, he couldn't even look at them. He just put his hand over their face with their favorite little baby blanket. What a sicko. So I'm thinking the sad thing is that it was the hardest one for him to do was the baby. No, and then they found out the oldest one that he did, the first one that he did, she didn't he didn't realize that she wasn't dead yet. He didn't kill her, and he thought she did. That's what sucked. And he was making bets and shit. Terrible. And then every day in jail, in prison, he waits for a letter to get a letter from that bitch Nicole Kessinger. And she had her daddy go in the interrogation room with him. And then, like, she didn't want them to go through her phone because there were some explicit pictures in there and shit. And like, she knew he was married still, and she'd be like, "Oh, you should work things out and let it know." And he had babies, and you know, and they were doing Roxy's together. I don't know if you know what Roxy's are. Boy, I shouldn't say that on the thing. There's a very Roxanne. They're these things, and they're blue, and doctors prescribe them, and they're for something for like pain, and they're very, 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 very strong. And if you're not used to them, or if you don't do them or not prescribed by them, they can hurt you, especially if, like I said, if you're not prescribed or used to them. And in large doses, they can really hurt you, especially if you're pregnant. And he had done something that he shouldn't have done, and it got her real sick, but it didn't do the trick. It didn't do the trick. So he did the other thing. I think that Nicole Kessinger gave him an ultimatum. Because I think he wanted to get rid of little baby Nico, which is weird because the mistress was named Nicole Kessinger. And then the baby, they were gonna name her Nicole. Her Nicole. What do you think about that? What's up? Ain't no saint. What's up with you, girl? We're just talking about nobody's a saint, man. Not around here. We're talking about the Chris Watts case. And I think he was just in that because he felt like he had to be. It's crazy. He annihilated his family, bro. Every sound has meaning. Trust evaporates completely. Severe anxiety and depression. Not the kind you experience in normal life. I'm not saying that people are crazy. I mean, there are people that. So what's up with you? You crazy? Ain't no Saint 13 up. Las Vegas, Nevada. Where you at? Talk to me. I got my hair all puffied up if I let it go. You're in Vegas? That we're both in Las Vegas? What part of Las Vegas? I'm on the east side. Really? What part? Name your cross streets. From Lemon Stewart. The west side? What are your cross streets? Paradise. Paradise. It's a long street. Paradise and Harmon. That's cool. I remember when I used to go hang out around Tropicana, Maryland Parkway a lot. But she moved all the way to Blue Diamond. So what? How old are you? Ain't no saint. 13? Yeah, I got a number. Oh, that's right. You're 30. You're 29.
Throughout 2025, Texas A&M experienced more media coverage than ever before for its impact and contributions. Our strategy is clear. Texas A&M needs to be present in the national conversation, be remembered for our values and purpose, and known nationally as an impactful force for good. I'm Tim Doty, Assistant Vice President for National Media and Public Relations at Texas A&M University. My job is sharing Texas A&M research and researchers with media around the world.
Yeah, you give me yours, man, because too many people might be doxxed.
In fiscal year 25, we had 76,000 media placements. That's up 72% from the year before. We had 27,000 more media placements in fiscal year 25 than we did prior. That doesn't include any placements talking about Texas A&M athletics. Texas A&M researchers and research are being featured at least 200 times every day around the world.
Thanks. Oh, you know, you can leave that. You can leave your number and I don't have to show it. That's an idea.
Allows Texas A&M to be one of 11 universities nationwide and one of 3 in the SEC to post expert explainer videos on the Associated Press website.
But anyway, I want to thank everybody for joining on in. It's been my pleasure. Hope everybody has a good night.
Texas A&M experts and research have been covering
and a comment on one of my
the New York Times, the Associated
on one of my little shorts.
Post, NPR, and Newsweek. We're reaching trade journals. The Royal Aeronautical Society featured Texas A&M
Okay.
research for the first time in over 100-year history. These faculty members didn't become
You do what you did. Good night. Bye.